To celebrate the occasion of West Ham signing Edson Alvarez and making its first signing of the summer after all this time, yeah, I know, right? I have decided to go to Chipotle to give the location a bit more of a Mexican theme. I've got my burrito, I'm going to eat this, and then I'll get back to you in around, I don't know, 5 minutes time. In case you were wondering, yes, that did taste very nice. But now I've had my food, let's get on to the main topic of this video. West Ham United is pleased to confirm the signing of Mexican international defensive midfielder Edson Alvarez. He joins from Ajax on a 5-year deal for a fee of around 41 million euros. This makes Alvarez the most expensive Mexican footballer of all time and the fourth Mexican to play for West Ham after Guillermo Franco, Paulo Barrera and Chicharito. Alvarez has been long sought after by West Ham for quite some time, but within the last week or so, negotiations really stepped up. Alvarez had interest from Borussia Dortmund, but this was turned down at a later date, and Alvarez has now officially joined West Ham. The medical was done over the last 3 days. Contract was signed yesterday, and the announcement video was made today. It's now all done and dusted, and as I said earlier, it is West Ham's first signing of this transfer window. Better late than never, but I think it's going to start a ball rolling effect in which we're going to now see a lot more players come in. I know 2 more are expected to be on the cards very soon, and that's a good thing. The business is finally getting done, but because this is David Moyes we're talking about as manager, obviously it's going to take a lot longer to do. That is what it is, and I say that with a great sense of reluctance and pain. Alvarez is perfect to fill in the Declan Rice role. I like Alvarez because of his tenacity, aggression, and a player that actually sticks to his guns a lot. He's very uber-focused on defending and winning balls back. He started out his career as a child playing as a right-sided centre-back before transferring into the defensive midfield position. He started his career with Club America in his native Mexico and then moved to Ajax to get an opportunity to play in Europe. With Ajax, he won 2 league titles and also had an opportunity to play for his country at the 2018 and 2022 World Cups. Alvarez has since spoken of his pride at joining West Ham, and I'm going to read a quote to sum up how he feels. "I am very happy and very proud to be here," said Alvarez, who speaks fluent English after learning the language during his 4-year stay in Amsterdam. "Being here in London and seeing London Stadium, it's amazing. I can't wait to play here in front of the West Ham fans. It's a hugely sentimental moment for me in my career. To join a club like West Ham is a dream for me and my family. The Premier League is a special league, the best league in the world, and I think my style will suit it. I now have a responsibility to West Ham and the West Ham family, and I'll give my absolutely everything for the shirt." Alvarez's ability to speak fluent English certainly comes in handy, but he has revealed something else since then. He's revealed that Pablo Fornals dropped him a message on Instagram prior to the signing being completed. Fornals wanted to welcome Alvarez to the club, and so that suggests that Pablo has some kind of pull. So should we use Fornals as the mouthpiece for West Ham? I don't know. Oh, anyway, that's just another thing. I suppose they're both Spanish speakers, and that's probably the reason why. I'm impressed with his quote for a few reasons. Apparently he was saying that his family was crying when they found out that he was signing for West Ham, and his parents were so proud of him. I can tell that he's worked very hard actually for his family, because he grew up in very difficult circumstances. He grew up just north of Mexico City into a family that was of a lower class background. He said that he had to make a lot of sacrifices to get to where he is today, and if it meant that he had to move abroad for the betterment of his career, then so be it, he had to do it. But he always made sure he put his family first. His wife Sophia and daughter Valentina are very important to him, and they joined him at the announcement at the stadium as well. The other thing that impressed me about this quote is that he thinks that his style will suit the Premier League, so he should have no problems in adapting. I expect him to make his debut against Bournemouth, and then we'll get a fair assessment of him. But if he really can put in the performances, and I'll back it up with some statistics following in the next video, then we have a very aggressive kind of player here who's got that absolute bastard attitude about him. And he got 16 yellow cards last season, so we're signing an absolute nut job as well. We love those kind of players at West Ham, don't we? This image documents Alvarez's contributions to Ajax during the 2022-23 season. He made 31 appearances with 71 successful tackles, the tackle success percentage of 72%, 36 interceptions, 18 successful dribbles, and a short pass accuracy of 91%. I just want to touch on those specific statistics, because if his tackle success rate is 72%, that's well in there at the higher end of the success rate. I've seen some of the highlight videos as well. He's very close to getting into players and timing them perfectly. Short passing might come in effect for us. If we can keep some long pass to the ball, and the short passing can take care of itself. He scored 3 goals as well, but as I keep saying, goals are never the deciding factor, and not in this position anyway. And 3 goals a season anyway is actually about average for a defensive midfielder. So these statistics certainly are very good looking, and something that I do not shun. This next image further demonstrates the own physical and player capabilities of Edson. Physically, defensively and impactfully, I expected this graph. Technical ability, I didn't expect him to have anyway. Mental ability, well, it sounds like he's absolutely mental in a way if he's getting 16 yellow cards in a season. But the defensive aspect certainly is going to help. We have a holding 6, and even admitted in the podcast with James Collins and Chris Skull that he is an impactful player and a defensive-minded player. If he can sit back in that holding 6 role, it gives us a lot more ability to go forward a bit more with our wingers and other progressive midfielders. That's why we needed this position. And it's 1 or 2 midfielders that we've signed to help with that. Second midfielder you already probably know about, but that's coming on a separate video. I have one last thing to say. Bienvenido al West Ham, Edson. Y buena suerte para todo tiempo a Londres.